Hey, Teacher Thoughts here, coming at you with another video. We're going to do another basket build. Now this one we're going to do is called Waterfall of Flowers. So in this basket I have four plants that trail really long around the outside edge. And in the center I'm putting a double petunia that's going to be more upright and mounding, or more globular in shape. So that's going to cover the top, and then everything else around the outside is going to trail really long. So that's kind of why I called this one Waterfall of Flowers. So I'm going to take you into our build table and we're going to build that basket together, and I'll show you how that goes, and we'll do a couple renditions of it so that you can see how that basket ends up. We've got 6 of them to do. So I'll explain 1 or 2 and then I'll talk through as I'm doing the rest of them. So anyway, let's follow along and go see how I plant up Waterfall of Flowers. Alright, we're back here at our build table and we're going to go ahead and throw a basket together. Again, we're using the Western Pulp pot, and we're using Sunshine Mix number 4. The other thing that we're going to use is we do use a wire hanger to go with these. And again, if you watch the video on these pots, it's because they are both completely compostable, and with the metal parts to it, they're recyclable. We're not throwing plastic into the environment with this one. So let's go ahead and get in with the build. So the first thing we're going to put in here is our double Vogue Lavender Vein, which is quite a impressive petunia. Like this was the corner one on the tray. It's got its own little tag that I can't remove. It'll be there forever and ever. So that's going to go right into the center. And again, we're lining up the flats to the spaces in between our eyelets for our hanger. Next one we're throwing in there is our Surfina pink vein. This is one of the longest trailers that I have. I have had these reach 6 feet long. So we're going to place that in here. Again, we're going to line it up with the flat, and the plants are where the hangers are not, so they're in those spaces. On the opposite side, we are going to put petunia blue vein. It was supposed to be lavender vein, but all of my lavender vein were destroyed in shipping. So blue vein is the replacement that I was able to get. It is just slightly different in the shade, but it has the same growth habit as the pink vein. So that is going to go opposite the pink vein. I'll put that over here, lift up our plant, tuck it in and down. Then the next thing we're going to add is our Surfina Giant Blue, and that is a striking big blue blossom. This is also a very long trailer. Hence why it's Waterfall of Flowers, because they cascade down over the edge and are absolutely gorgeous. So that one goes down there, and then we're going to line it up where we've got our last thing. Most of our baskets are going to have the Ipomea. In this case, we're using Solar Tower Black. I'm going to give that a little bit of a pinch to make sure that it starts branching out. And then the traditional double squeeze. We're going to put this back in here, lifting up the plant material and tucking it in. And then we're going to go ahead and add our soil to the mix. So like that. Anywhere where I've got a gap that I need soil, I'll just put a little bit of light soil to fill in the holes. Use my hands to pull the soil back. And just a little bit of a sprinkling here and there. One more void to fill in and this basket will be done. Just a little pinch of soil, a little bit of a shake to even things out. And then we're going to go ahead and add our hanger. I find where my pre-marked bend is, bend it over my finger a little bit more than 90, and then I spread this wire hanger out like so. Find my eyelets, protect the plants with my fingers, in, around, and back. I go to the next spot and repeat. In, around, and back. Second to last eyelet here, in, around, and back. Okay, so that is our completed Waterfall of Flowers. And as you can see, these basket builds, once you get going, they go pretty quick. Okay, so we can just take that and set it off the side. Go ahead and bring our next pre-filled pot up here. And we'll add in a little bit more to see how fast we can go. Bring up our plant material. And I've got that all staged back here. So again, we're going to start off with our double Vogue lavender vein, which goes in the center. Just like that. We'll give him a little bit of a pinch so it can start branching out for us. Okay. Our blue vein. These again are going to go opposite of the pink vein. So we're going to line that up with a flat. Comes in here just like that. There is the pink vein. Okay. Sky blue goes on this side over here. Again, that was sky blue. Surfina sky blue. And I really love the Surfinas. You know, I've been growing for, well, almost as long as I've been alive. But if you wanted to count all the time, you'd put 40 years together, and that's about my growing time. The Surfina is by far the best performing petunia that I have dealt with. There are a few others that I really like, but these are the ones that are available to me through my vendor. So they're what I choose. And it's a good rock solid petunia variety. They perform, they grow long, they flower all summer long. Why wouldn't you want to have that in your basket? A more boutique style basket, so one that's going to trail long and perform completely different than what you would get out of a standard basket at like Home Depot or Lowe's or Walmart. These are ones that I've designed them to perform well for my customer and not something that I've had to design to perform well for a Mega Mart or a large home supply company. These are designed specifically for my customer. So they're to grow well for you, not make it easier or more profitable for like Home Depot or Lowe's to carry them. And I've talked about that. If you see my video about upright baskets, I want you to have ones that are long and trailing, not ones that are upright and mounding. So I want you to have really good plant material that's going to perform well for you, not stuff that's going to make it easier for me to ship them. So, yep, definitely a boutique style. And that's kind of a benefit of being able to get these grower direct, so right from our students. The next bunch of plant material in. All right, let's go ahead and do our next basket. So we're going to start again with our double Vogue lavender vein in the center. We're going to complement it with the pink vein long traveler, so that's going to go opposite sides. So there goes one there. Tuck it in like that. Then on this side we'll do the pink vein. Again, these long travelers are going to be really nice on this basket. You got to make sure that gets seated all the way down. Then we're going to put our sky blue on the other side. We're going to polish it off with our solar tower black. And then add our extra soil. And I can kind of take some of these branches from the center and I can move them to the outside. So get some of that soil in there. You kind of see what I'm doing as far as I'm filling in just a little bit of light soil. Shake it down. If I got some excess, pull that out, kind of like that. And we'll take all 5 of our tags, bundle them up, stick them in, and then we're going to go ahead and add our hanger, bend, separate them out. From the outside, around and back, outside, around and back. All right, there we go. There's another waterfall of flowers all planted up. Take our little excess soil out, tuck them down there, stack our pots, get those out of the way. One of each of our plants up. There's all 5. Alrighty, so again on this mix, I'm going to do this again. Our double Vogue in the center. We can mix it up however we want, just making sure that we've got all of our plants relatively in the same order. We're just wanting to make sure that we put our similar growth habits opposite of one another. That's our big blue. Then our lavender veined and our blue veined go opposite of one another. Like that. Spin her around. Like that. All right. Okay, there we go. Need a little more soil to cover that up. There we go. Take our tags, stick them in, and then we're going to add our hanger to that. I had a student this last week when I was doing this. They're like, Mr. Ross, how in the world can you be so fast at doing that? And my response was that when it comes to doing these hangers and doing pots, our family used to grow a lot of baskets. Now, you know, we weren't a full commercial operation as far as having multiple employees. We were a small family-owned, had several really nice houses dedicated to baskets. So I think we had, let's see, there's 8,000, 10,000. About 10,000 square foot of greenhouse that was dedicated to growing nothing but baskets. So we did a lot of hanging baskets, everything from fuchsias to begonias, mixed shade baskets, mixed sun baskets, part sun baskets. So we did a lot of them. So I would easily work with 1,000 baskets a year, putting on hangers. And when you do that for over 40 years in 1,000 baskets, that's 40,000 baskets, putting them together. So if you haven't figured it out after 40,000 baskets, might want to try doing something else. So anyway, let's get this one leveled out a little bit more. So the soil, if you're wondering, this is Sunshine Mix number 4. It's made by a company called SunGrow. This happens to be soil that came from Home Depot because they happen to carry it, and there it is. They happen to carry it in a consumer size. It's a 2 cubic foot, and I'm used to like I think it's 2.2, and I'm used to like a 3 cubic foot or more. But it's the same. It's close to the same soil. I will say the one thing I've noticed with the consumer version versus the commercial version is the consumer version of Sunshine Mix number 4, the SunGrow. I don't know who makes it in our area, but they have a problem with weed seeds. So wherever they're storing their raw ingredients, they are having weed seeds come in, because I've never had problems with weed seeds out of bag potting mix. And I have since I started doing potting mix here. That is not my right plant. That is another wrong plant. This is the pink vein. That's a blue vein. I got to put the right plants in, so I got to go grab another one of those. I think some like-looking plants got put together. Good thing I checked the tag on that one. Okay, tuck that in. We're going to add our sky blue to the side. Kind of roll that in there. Okay, add our potting media. I'm going to get rid of that big blossom. It's just going to cause problems for me if it starts to rot. And it's too early for us to worry about baskets looking pretty. Alright, tags go in. Let me add our hanger. So one of the things with these is when you're transplanting these and putting them in your big grow house, the least number of times you can touch them, the better. So I do like to add my hangers before I take them to my grow house, because that way they don't have to be on the ground. I can put them in the air, and it's one last touch that I have to do to the basket. One of the things that I've tried to work really hard on is being efficient when I'm working in the greenhouse. Greenhouse growers, if they're on a small small greenhouse operation, a lot of times they'll have a second job, which I did for many years. So I worked in a manufacturing facility as a CNC machinist, and in there we were trained on Japanese efficiency systems. So Kaizen, Kata, Six Sigma, all those kinds of efficiency programs. So I try to bring that kind of thing to my nursery work. Here's my blue vein. Here's my double Vogue. Big blue, and my sweet potato vine, which I'm going to go ahead and pinch that. And I got to go get a pink vein. There we go, there's all our plants. So if you organize things and you do things in where you have to reach or walk less. You're going to save time, which makes you more efficient, which allows you to save funds or costs while you're growing. So I bring that kind of idea to my own greenhouse operation here at the school, and I try to teach students how to do things in a correct order so that we can be efficient. Friday was our first day of building on the baskets, and we'll get quicker and better. But right now we only did we did less than 20 baskets, so we got to pick up the pace. We actually got 17 of them done. So if we did 17 every class period, it would take us 5 weeks to wrap up, and we don't have 5 weeks. So that's part of the reason that I'm here today, is to go through and try to get us a head start, make sure that all of our custom orders are planted, and then we can go from here to plant the rest of them. But definitely making sure we're staying efficient, we're getting things done. I created my paperwork tracking system, so I know what builds we're doing, so everything can come out similar or the same. Just trying to make sure that we are doing the best we can with the limited time and space that we have. I hope you don't mind going through these builds with me. I had someone that got in a social media argument with me about the type of channel that I ran, and they wanted to see me teach in my classroom more. Sorry, I can't do that. There are rules to posting images or pictures of students and classrooms and videotape and all that. So all of my videoing is either done on weekends or after school, with the exception of very few things. There are very few things, like our cheese unit. When we did that, I did some video just featuring me, but getting student reactions to the cheese. And it's kind of something that I find is very important, is having videos that they can refer back to on some of that stuff. So there are a few things I will shoot in my classroom as part of my curricula, but all these style of videos, they're all going to be done in my own time after school or on weekends. So if you're wondering why you're not seeing me teaching, that's why, because rules. All right, so that was our waterfall of flowers. All 6 of those are now done. I got to go back and tag them, because I don't think I tagged them earlier. I think I just moved them back. But they're all going to be tagged with the letter H on there. So I'll get these guys a drink. I'll get their tag on there. We're doing that a little bit. I don't know if I showed that. We'll show you that too. So there are tags that do go around wire hangers. I didn't have any of those. So I kind of discovered I could take a hole punch, and if I put the tag in about there, poked a hole in it, I'm going to write my letter H on there. Okay, so I know that's H. Then I can take this, and if I curl this little bit of a point, so I give it a curl, make a point, I can put that around the wire, put that point through the hole. Then there's a little bit of a notch here. If I pull all the way to that notch, it's harder to do while wearing gloves, it will lock that tag on. There you go. Lock that tag on, and then I've got my tag H for Waterfall of Flowers. Now I will go through later with these, and they'll each get actually a customer name and number on there, so that I know whose basket this is from the pre-sale. And then I'm going to start shooting weekly updates of where the baskets are, so that those that are purchasing the baskets can kind of watch them grow. So again, this was Waterfall of flowers. It's all tagged, ready to go, ready to get some water. And then I'm gonna tuck them out in our little tiny grow house and kind of see how we can get them in there. So I'm gonna work on that. So I'll shoot a video of me loading those in there and you can follow up. But that's kind of what the next few weeks is gonna look like, is a lot of planting videos. And then we'll start talking about shape and feed and things like that, because these guys are hungry. They really want to be fed again. I fertilized them last week. I needed to get fertilizer on them again. I'm trying to hold them back just slightly because we're running out of doggone room in there and really need to get to that big grow house. So anyway, I hope you really enjoyed watching me do another one of those basket builds, and I'll do a few more for each of the basket mixes that I do. I'll let you know how they go together and what plants we're selecting, and then I'll show you them as they grow along this time. But as always, I hope you learned something. Ag Teacher Thoughts out.